Reece James should be unstoppable. He has the power, the vision, the technique, and the captain's armband. But every time he steps onto the pitch, one question hangs in the air. Why isn't he dominating like a world-class fullback should? Is it hesitation? Is it his fragile body? Or is Enzo Maresca quietly caging Chelsea's greatest weapon? By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why Reece James feels like a lion in a cage and whether he can ever be unleashed again.
The fullback go inside, we behave like playing three at the back.
And now the truth of the cage. Enzo Maresca has brought structure to Chelsea. James is asked to drift into midfield, recycling possession rather than dominating the flank. The trade-off is clear. Chelsea gain balance, but lose the very chaos that makes James world-class. Every time he steps inward, the team sacrifices an overlap. Every time he plays it safe, the box loses its most dangerous supply line. Maresca isn't blind. He's protecting James and protecting Chelsea. But protection can look like limitation. In a system designed to make Chelsea stronger, their greatest weapon feels blunted. Because James' power is in the overlaps that rip teams apart, the whipped crosses that bend matches. Reece James' passing is his sharpest weapon. Long diagonals that rip through defensive lines, delicate chips into runners, and vertical passes that slice straight into attacking zones. He ranks in the top tier of fullbacks for progressive passing. Proof that he isn't just powerful, he's precise. But there's a twist. For all his quality, his passing often stays hidden, used to circulate possession rather than carve open opponents. The blade is sharp, but not always swung. Few right-backs in Europe have crossed a ball like Reece James at his peak. In 2021/22, he averaged more than 5 crosses per 90, with accuracy touching 35%. That's elite. James didn't just swing balls in, he sculpted them. Whip deliveries that bent away from defenders, laser-flat drives that begged to be finished, looping arcs that dropped perfectly onto a striker's head. For a Chelsea side starved of goals, his right foot was the supply line. When James crosses at full power, he doesn't just create chances. He changes the gravity of the game. Defenders shift back, space opens. But in recent seasons, the volume has dropped. The angles are tighter, the threat is dulled. Chelsea strikers wait in the box, fans wait in the stands, and the devastating whip that once defined James is seen less and less. When danger comes, James is the lock. He wins over 60% of his ground duels, rarely loses a 1-versus-1, and recovers with pace and power. When danger comes, Reece James is the lock. Strong, balanced, fearless. He wins more than 60% of his ground duels, closes space with intelligence, and recovers with the kind of pace that erases mistakes before they become goals. This is where James steps apart from players like Trent Alexander-Arnold. Trent is a creator, a quarterback from right back, but he's vulnerable when turned, exposed in 1-versus-1s. James? He is the opposite. He doesn't just survive those duels, he relishes them. For him, defending is not a weakness to hide, it's a weapon to wield. That's what makes James unique. He isn't just a fullback who attacks like a winger, he's a fullback who defends like a center back. Power, timing, anticipation, the qualities that turn chaos into control. He's strong, intelligent, and fearless in the tackle. But the risk is written all over his body. Each high-intensity sprint, each lung-bursting recovery, drags him closer to another setback. For Chelsea, James is both a shield and a gamble. Reece James isn't just a right back. He's a carrier, a driver, a player who bends the field in his team's favor. When he picks up the ball deep, he doesn't just play it safe. He strides forward, breaking lines with power and precision. That's why some managers, Tuchel, Southgate, even now Maresca in moments, trust him in midfield zones. James has the rare blend of technique and athleticism to play both roles. He can shield the ball like a number 6, burst through pressure like a number 8, and still deliver like a fullback. This progressive instinct is what makes him such a problem for opponents. Do you press him and risk being bulldozed? Or do you stand off and let him advance with time to pick the perfect pass? For Chelsea, this ability is double-edged. Inverting him inside brings control, yes, but it also drags him away from the flank, away from the overlaps, away from the chaos where he's at his deadliest. James isn't just a defender, he's a carrier of momentum, a one-man launch pad, and when unleashed, he turns defense into attack in a heartbeat. Set pieces are Reece James's escape route. From the dead ball, he's untouchable. His technique is pure. Short run-up, compact swing, clean contact. James doesn't score often, but when he arrives in the box, his finishing is clinical. He strikes clean, with power, and reads cutbacks well. The issue isn't ability, it's opportunity. He rarely gets into scoring positions, and so his goal threat remains a glimpse of what could be, not what is. Of course, the cage isn't only Maresca's. Sometimes it's James himself. Hesitation, that heartbeat of doubt before committing to a run or strike, drains his end product, and then the injuries. Since 2021, James has missed over 70 games with hamstring and muscle issues. Every comeback fuels hope. Every setback feeds doubt. The question isn't whether James is good enough, it's whether his body will let him prove it. Reece James is Chelsea's lion. Powerful, elegant, devastating. But under Maresca's system and under the shadow of injury, he is caged. The roar is still there, but muffled. The real question is this: will Chelsea dare to unleash him again, or will they protect him into irrelevance? So here we are, Reece James, captain, creator, defender, leader. A lion with the roar to shake Stamford Bridge, but caged by hesitation, by injuries, and maybe even by his own manager's system. But here's the question only Chelsea fans can answer. Should the club protect him at all costs, or unleash him, no matter the risk? Drop your answer in the comments, and if you want more breakdowns of players who shape and sometimes break their clubs, hit subscribe. Because this story is only just beginning. I remain your humble analyst, football guru.